was the last time you were in your sewing room? You might be thinking, it's too hot inside, or life is busy with family and travel, or you would just prefer to be in your garden in this beautiful weather. So it's time for a change in strategy so you can get some summer sewing in. And stick with me and I'll show you how to do it. Hi, I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. I give you tips, tricks, and strategies to help you make the quilt that you want to make. And if you like what you see, please click that subscribe button. Different seasons require different sewing strategies. Not only is there a seasonal change in temperature and hours of sunlight, it also comes with a different lifestyle. There are sporting events to attend, weddings, reunions with family and friends, travel, and all sorts of outdoor activities. And our quilting practice is pushed down that list of priorities. But that doesn't mean that it needs to be neglected altogether. Here are 10 strategies to help you enjoy summer sewing. You want your space to be inviting for when the opportunity arises, so tidy up. If you watched my series on organizing your space, this will be easy and second nature, as everything has its place. And nothing says come in and sew like clean surfaces. And what do you have in your works in progress or your UFOs that can be a fast finish? Maybe you have a label to put on, or perhaps a binding. The more that you can quickly cross off your to-do list, the tidier your space will be, and the more freedom you will have to start something fresh and new. Quilting is a marathon, and you might not feel like participating in the heat. So it might be better to pack that quilting project up and wait for the cooler weather to assemble it. You might be concerned that it'll become a UFO if you do this, so be sure to leave detailed notes on what you have done and what the next steps will be, so that you can simply jump back in when the time is right. And don't stuff it into the back of your closet. Keep it nearby and make sure that you have it on a list front and center so it's not forgotten. Normally, in the cooler weather, I advise you to work in 30 to 60-minute intervals. But when the temperature goes up, 15 to 30 minutes might fit better. You can sneak a couple of intervals into your day between gardening and the soccer game. Yes, your progress is slower, but steady always wins. Nothing can heat up a room like a hot iron, and that's the last thing we want when our air conditioning is working hard. So instead of turning it on and keeping it on, batch your work. Then you can turn it on when you need it and turn it off between uses. And use a roller for those in-between steps. This one is by Violet Craft, and I'll leave a link in the notes below. Alternatively, you can keep your iron in another room, or try to do your sewing first thing in the morning or last thing at night. This is the time for focusing on small goals. So instead of thinking about making a whole quilt, change your attention to one block at a time. They need less time commitment, occupy less brain space, and physically they do not take up as much real estate. And by the end of the season, you just might have enough to assemble into a quilt. And for those that are interested, yes, I am participating in this year's 100 Days, 100 Blocks, but I haven't quite decided on my colors yet. Not all quilts need to go on a bed. Small projects are perfect for trying out new techniques, testing out different colors, and variations on quilting styles. And they are also perfect for hanging into the smaller corners of your home, or help decorate your home for the holidays. They also make great pillows and can be great gifts to share. With all the outdoor activities and travel, you just might need a portable project. This is the perfect time for hand sewing projects like English paper piecing. Paper piecing can be compact and fit easily into a sewing pouch.
So it goes where you go and everything has its place.
Check out my video on English paper piecing and sewing on the go. But it also might be the time to try out a different handcraft, like cross stitch or embroidery or knitting or crochet, so you can keep your hands busy wherever you are. There is nothing that says you can't take it with you. Have a travel kit ready to take on the road. You can sew in motel rooms, on picnic tables, and on the patio. Not only can you work on current projects, you can also help others with their mending or their projects. Just note that when you are sewing outside, the elements like wind can be a big factor, so keep your project compact.
And I highly recommend the book Handmade Getaway, with all sorts of great tips and projects for the summer.
Not all sewing needs to be a quilt. Try making some summer clothing. Summer styles are less fitted, which means fewer steps. And the bonus is that you can wear them right away. You can also make accessories like bags, hats, and hostess gifts. Summer is only temporary. Winter is coming. So for you, summer sewing may not be about sewing at all, but planning ahead for winter and autumn, when quilts will be appreciated for their warmth. You might also need to start planning some gifts for the holidays. So now is the time to find the patterns, audition the fabrics, and assemble the kits. Now you might live in the southern hemisphere and are now flowing into winter, or live in a part of the world with less seasons. Or you might have an occupation like teaching, where summer is when you actually have more time. Simply pick and choose the strategies for when they make sense for you. If you would like more tips on what a sewing on the go project should look like, I'll leave a link to that video here. And if you want to make a travel kit, I'll also link that video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.